Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino, and here we go. And I mean that seriously. This is Friday, August 18, 2023. I want to start off with this. You and I, for, for a few years now, have discussed how this economy, regardless of what they're telling you, what they're trying to fist feed you from the propaganda ministry, is literally in free fall. Now, you and I, have looked at leading economic indicators for the last few freaking years. Well, today marks a milestone. We have 16 consecutive months where leading economic indicators have collapsed. We haven't seen this since the meltdown of Lehman Brothers, which led to the financial crisis. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of things going on here which really should spark your interest, honestly. Not only have we not seen leading economic indicators crash this long since the collapse of Lehman Brothers, but the 10-year yield is right about the same spot. We haven't seen a 10-year yield where we are right now since the last meltdown. So there are a few dynamics in play that really should raise your eyebrows a little bit. Now, I covered yesterday, look, the last thing you want to do is be afraid of a damn thing. All right, you have to sit back and contemplate the situation, what's going on, and what you need to do. You and I have known for years that this thing that we are in, it can't go on forever. We've never been here before, not even close, not even the last financial meltdown. The distortions which existed in the market back then, not even slightly close to what we have now. Since that time, what has happened? Central banks have gone wild, inflating the biggest, most monstrous bubble in the history of the world by exponents. I'm talking about the global debt hyperbubble, which is the greatest threat, period, the end to human life on this planet. Again, when this debt bubble bursts, and we may be bursting right now, this is going to lead to a resource problem on a biblical scale, scarcity, okay? What better way to force control on the people of the world than to have them run into a situation where resources that they need, basic things, become scarce? That's what's going to happen, period. The moment of maximum saturation that you and I have been speaking about for freaking years, the first step, obviously, and we've spoken about this a million times, is rising inflation. There are some people that believe that this is a phenomenon just here in the United States, and I don't understand that. This is a global phenomenon. We are seeing this globally because central banks are working together collectively to destroy the world the way it is now. They are fully in control of what they are doing. This has been a plan in effect for over a century to bring the world to its knees, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, and this has been their goal since the inception of central banking. Period. Okay, we are there now. Are they about to allow this entire thing to implode? I've been saying no. No. They're not ready. But it certainly appears that the way things are lining up, that we need to start paying even more attention. Again, we haven't been here. We've never seen this since the collapse of Lehman Brothers with regard to leading economic indicators. With regard to the 10-year yield, we haven't seen it this high since the meltdown as well. So it's hard to ignore these kinds of things. Now, I'm not saying you need to, run for the hills, as I said earlier, and yesterday I outlined what I believe people should do. If you are a longer-term investor, don't buy the dip here. Okay, maybe I should say that. But I don't think people need to run out and start dumping their positions that they are planning on holding for a very long period of time. If you are a short-term trader, this is beautiful for you. I mean, this kind of a situation is what you dream about. And, if you're a day trader, intraday trader, or even a swing trader, this is what you kind of live for, these kind of situations here. And, you and I watched this unfold literally step by step since the Mannarino market risk indicator, the MMRI, free to you, free to everybody, link in the description of this video, crossed 250, 250. Now, speaking about the 10-year yield, this morning, the 10-year yield, believe it or not, has dropped 8 basis points. The relative strength of the dollar has come down. The MMRI has also come down. Last time I looked at it, it was 271. But I mean, just because it has come down doesn't mean that everything is just freaking lovely. We're in a terrible spot right now with regard to risk in this market. The market doesn't like it. As a matter of fact, as I am doing this video blog, it is 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Stock futures are down across the board. Dow futures are down triple digits. It's not looking pretty here at all. It hasn't been pretty, again, since MMRI 250. But again, just could this be the beginning of another meltdown, being that we have a couple of things that I mean, this whole issue with regard to Lehman Brothers, the collapse of Lehman Brothers, leading economic indicators, the 10-year yield where it is, risk in this market is not too far from an extreme level. I mean, go look at the MMRI. Again, link in the description of this video. I put a lot of thought into the color codes and into the ranges, and each one is labeled. So right now, we are not too far from extreme risk. Now, extreme risk doesn't necessarily mean that this market is about to melt down. It certainly could. The market always has risk. You know that, okay? Even in low MMRI numbers, when the MMRI first came out, we were like 60-something, 68, whatever it was. There's always a risk that some outlying event could bring this whole thing down. But obviously, when risk is where it is, it just kind of exacerbates the entire situation. You understand? I think you do. Anyway, let's cover a few other assets. Gold and silver, as well as crude oil, are catching a bid this morning. At least they are right now. Cryptocurrencies are under pressure pretty much across the board. Now, I want to cover that just again real quick because I got a lot of comments about this yesterday. In a full-on meltdown, let's say this is the moment where this whole thing is about to come down. All right. You would expect to see a pan sell-off, meaning everything is going to sell off. What does the market do? The market generally throws the baby out with the bathwater in a full-on meltdown situation if history has been any guide. Okay. So what does that mean? This is how it most likely will play out. Debt market meltdown, which we're seeing some, obviously a pretty significant sell-off right now in the debt market. Henceforth, why bond yields are rising the way that they are. This is putting pressure on the stock market. Does this sound familiar to you? It should, because you and I have outlined this exact scenario for a decade, literally a decade. Meltdown in the debt market would force the stock market lower. We're seeing it play out in real time right before our eyes. Those of you who said I was going to be wrong on this, well, here it is in your face. You like it? Anyway, so full-on meltdown, debt market continues to spiral out of control, rates spike. Higher, much higher. You got that putting pressure on the stock market. Initially, the initial knee-jerk reaction is going to be everything is going to sell off, including commodities. But then it's going to flip. Again, what we have had is an engineered environment of risk on since the collapse of Lehman Brothers, okay? That means the Fed has opened a doorway, by keeping rates suppressed, opened a doorway for cash to move into the stock market and real estate. We've inflated a massive bubble there too, but let's stick with the stock market. That's how it works. This is why the Fed and central banks around the world have chosen the debt market. Why they have chosen to rig the debt market. The debt market is a driver. You know this better than anybody. So this has inflated a bubble in the stock market that is beyond belief. Beyond belief. Okay? This thing here, I've showed you the market and the economy. We're off the charts now. That's where we are. Economy is dead. And the propaganda ministry can't allow you to know that here. But again, no surprise to anybody. We've been talking about leading economic indicators, you and I, for years. Now here we are. We haven't seen this again since Lehman, since the collapse of Lehman and the last financial meltdown. So we got to raise our awareness. Anyway, going back to what I was saying. Market will throw the baby out with the bathwater. Everything will sell off initially, then it will flip over. Risk on will turn to risk off. Risk off meaning cash is going to bleed out of, it's going to hemorrhage out of the debt market, hemorrhage out of the stock market. Everything's going to come down, then it's going to move. Cash is going to move into commodities, and I also believe cryptocurrencies here, the big ones especially. If you want to pick one, how about Bitcoin? There you go. Okay. So that is by far the most likely scenario of how this will play out moving forward in a full-on meltdown. And I'm not saying we're there yet, okay, but things are lining up in a very ominous way right now. So, I mean, look, is this a surprise to you? I don't think so. I feel in my heart of hearts that all of us, okay, this is not just my thing, this is our thing, have prepared each other for what's coming here. We are ready for whatever they're going to do. I always told you to expect the unexpected. Always have the high ground. They're going to throw things at us. They're going to force us to deal with situations that seem almost supernatural, that seem like science fiction. Okay? That's what they're going to do. Crisis to crisis to crisis followed by another crisis. Does this make sense to you? I want to hear from you. What I've spoken about in this video, what we've been speaking about for a long time, does this ring true to you? Because people know the truth when they hear it right out of the mouth of my old friend Greg Hunter. You understand? I think all of you understand what's going on here. Again, better than anybody, and I'm proud to say that. Okay? So we're going to keep our eyes on all of this. But I want you to keep in mind, again, what we're seeing right now today, with regard to leading economic indicators, we have not seen since the collapse of Lehman Brothers and the financial meltdown. With regard to the 10-year yield, we haven't seen it here again since the financial meltdown. So things are lining up. Now, you could turn on the propaganda ministry. They're going to look at you with their smiling faces and tell you how great everything is. You see, if you were to go back to every market meltdown top as things started to roll over, same scenario. The propaganda ministry, I'm pointing towards, that's where my TV is over there, my program device over there that I try not to listen to too much. Same thing. They're out there, the propaganda ministry, telling you how great everything is. Everything is fantastic. Oh, don't worry about it. Meanwhile, and then we had people like Ben Bernanke telling us it's contained and it's nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, I told you that guy gets paid $1 million to open his pie hole per speech because he's so great and so smart. He brought the world to its knees. The guy should be in handcuffs. He should be in jail for life. Okay? You talk about Bernie Madoff? What Bernanke did was 1,000,000 times worse. Anyway. All right, people, we covered a lot. I got a little surprise for you. All right. This will be my final video of the week and the day. It's Friday. All right. I can't get a video out later. It's impossible for me to do. Oh, by the way, yesterday with drag racing, unfortunately, on my way to the track, car on the trailer started to downpour. So it got rained out, so I didn't get to do any drag racing yesterday, unfortunately. So people, you will not see me for a live stream today. Please let others know about that, because everyone's going to ask, where's Greg? And I love that. It makes me feel like I'm needed, and it really does impact me in a positive way. We need each other, all right? So what we're going to do is what we would have done later, all right? Bring it in. Love each other, care about each other, be charitable, raise your awareness. Consider the environment where we are in. Consider your own situation, and I think, like I said, you're all ready for this. If this is that moment, you are ready for it, because we are a team. We have been here together for years. Some of you have been with me for over a decade. It's an incredible thing. And I love every single one of you. We got each other's backs. We support each other. We love each other. We care about each other. And yes, we are charitable. And this is going to get us through whatever they're going to throw at us. I don't care what they throw at us. We're going to get through it together, because that's how we roll. That's how we freaking roll. I will see all of you Sunday for my Markets A Look Ahead video. Please, people, comment about these things I've spoken about. Please share this video. Those thumbs up, if you got anything out of it, are so appreciated. It gets the video out there. Okay? It lets people see and hear this stuff. Where are they going to get this kind of information, honestly? Anyway, as I said, see you Sunday. Have a great weekend, all of you, and I will miss you until I see you again. All right? I'm out of here.